Youth for Animals. Welcome to the Zoom-in with Experts by Youth for Animals. So just for background, Youth for Animals is a platform for young people to promote animal welfare. We have started a series where we interview experts about the environment and animal welfare. Our guest for today is Mr. Gajender Sharma, who is the country director in India for World Animal Protection. World Animal Protection is a global nonprofit organization, and they've done many initiatives in the past. We're really excited to start this conversation, more specifically about their G20 campaign. So welcome, Mr. Sharma. Thank you for being here today. And to start off, would you like to tell us a little bit about World Animal Protection and its mission?
Thanks, Nikita. So as you said, World Animal Protection is an international animal welfare organization. We work to move the world to protect animals. That's our mission. The animals can live free from suffering. We as an organization working in more than 50 countries around the world with 14 different offices. We work very closely with the governments, corporates, NGOs, international bodies, and individuals, and work to empower them to play an active role in moving the world to protect animals.
Can you give us a few examples of what World Animal Protection India, like what projects have they taken up and like what's been successful?
Yeah, so we are currently working on 4 strategic areas of animal welfare, and these are animals in communities where the welfare of dogs and cats. We look after that particular issue. The other program area is animals in disasters. So as part of this program, we work with animal owners and the various stakeholders, including government and non-government organization, to ensure welfare of animals before, during, and after disasters. The third program area is animals in farming. So this is an area where we look at the welfare of animals farmed for food, like in dairy farming, poultry, and the pig and other animals farmed for food. And the fourth area is animals in wild, and as part of that, we work to make sure that wild animals remain in wild, and whatever animals we have in the captivity or in the private ownership should be the last generation of those animals, and they should also move back into some sorts of facility where they can have the rest of their life in a natural sorts of environment, and where they can express their natural behavior without any direct human interaction. And as part of these 4 different programs we have been focusing on, I would just like to talk about some of the key successes we have achieved in India so far. So, for example, we are the first of its kind, managed to get a first of its kind National Dairy Code of Practices for management of dairy animals in India. Apart from that, as part of our disaster management work, we have achieved some really significant result, and some of them are like we successfully managed to integrate animals in National Disaster Management Plan of India, and also worked with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare to develop animal-specific disaster management plan to help animals before, during, and after disasters. So I think these are some of the key successes we have achieved in recent past. But prior to that, as you may be aware, that in India we used to have this bear dancing practices in rural areas where the people used to illegally capture bears from wild and then train them to perform in streets. And this tradition lasted for quite long until 2012, wherein we, in partnership with our local partners, successfully campaigned to end bear dancing practices in India. So these are some of the work so far, and currently we are working on all these 4 program area with very specific focus on animals in wild and animals in farming.
Yeah, I think all those initiatives are really great and relevant, especially the one about bear dancing. I remember that it was a very common thing. Another initiative I read about on your blog was stopping elephant rides in the Amur Fort. I found that campaign really interesting, especially since it applies to tourists globally. So I think that's a great example of the work you do. I believe one of your big global campaigns is petitioning the G20 world leaders to end wildlife trade. Can you just elaborate more about this initiative?
Yeah. So as we know, the current COVID-19 outbreak is believed to have originated at wildlife wet markets in China. And then this COVID-19 virus is transmitted to humans as a result of close proximity between wild animals and people. So when you are selling something, then of course people get very close to them, and that's how it got transmitted to humans, and here we are. And because of all these legal and illegal trade of some of the species are allowed in different countries, every day thousands of wild animals are poached, farmed, or sold into the this so-called global multi-billion-dollar trade industry for food, pets, traditional medicines, and entertainment, like the elephant ride or dolphin parks and all sorts of different venues where the wild animals perform to entertain people. And these horrific conditions cause unimaginable suffering for every single animal involved in this sorts of situation. And as I mentioned, they also create a hotbed for zoonotic diseases, leading to outbreaks like SARS we had in the past, and now the COVID-19. So with the COVID-19 pandemic, sweeping across the globe, we can no longer ignore the danger of exploiting wild animals. So the more we exploit them, more we get into the close proximity of wild animals, the more the chances we will have to have such pandemics in future as well. So we believe that this needs to stop. And the only one way to start with is that the all legal and illegal wildlife trade, which includes wild animals and wild animal products, needs to be completely stopped. And this is probably the only way we can see at this stage, which will prevent future global health crisis and protect our environment for generations to come. So we believe that wild animals belong to wild, and the global wildlife trade is animal cruelty and puts our health, environment, and the world economy at risk from pandemics like COVID-19. And that's why we are running this global campaign where we are asking G20 nations to end the global wildlife trade forever at the upcoming G20 summit in November 2020.
Yeah, I also think that's a really great initiative. Can you give a few examples of what are the most traded animals and what are their uses?
So it's no different in different countries. There are different issues. So if you look at the Southeast Asian countries, China, South Korea, Vietnam, and all these Southeast Asian countries where the bear bile industry is quite big. So bears are farmed for their biles to be used for traditional Chinese medicines. If you go further in, like the African continent, there are lion bones are used for, again, the traditional medicines. Lions also used for pets. Then there are a lot of wild animal species which are used as a pet in different market. So it's a whole lot of species at different part of the world, including in India, wherein pangolins are used for some sorts of the traditional medicines in India, and then illegally sell it to Chinese territory where they are using them for the different products, Chinese product, which includes medicines and the cosmetic products as well. If you ask me particularly, I think you name the species of animal, the people are eating them, people are using them as a pet, people are actually killing them to extract something to make some medicine or some product.
So I think that like a major part of that is raising awareness to the general public, because it's a lot about like what the consumers buy. So what do you think the public can do to support the G20 campaign?
G20, we are asking people to sign this petition, share this petition within their network, asking more and more people to support it.
Right. And just out of like curiosity for our audience, is this petition global, or is it just for one country, or how does it work?
So this is part of the global petition we are submitting to G20 in November. And in every country, we are running a petition to the Prime Minister of the country. In India, it is Sri Narendra Modi ji. So we are asking the Indian Prime Minister to support this international wildlife trade ban in upcoming G20 meeting. In addition to that, we are also asking the government of India to make sure that all wildlife protection laws in India is enforced properly, so no illegal wildlife trade take place in country.
So as a representative of an animal welfare organization, what would be your message to the youth about like how they can make a world a better place for animals?
In any change, and particularly the animal welfare as a movement is quite new, and that's where we see youth can play a key role in building the movement for animals. As we know that youth is speaking up on behalf of the future generation and actively involved in creating institutional and social reforms in different part of the world. We want to bring them a platform and opportunity to be part of this movement where they can become an animal protector. And they can do it by supporting the animal related campaigns, whether it is G20 campaign we are running or the different campaigns we and the other organizations are running. So they can be part of the animal welfare movement by supporting the campaigns. They become followers and then start sharing these key messages within their network, in their schools, their neighborhood, and in their city, and on whatever network they have the access of. Through social media, the youth is very good in social media and different social networking channels, and leading can certainly actually help us to make this world a better place for animals.
Yeah, that's a great message. I think everyone out there should listen to this. Thank you so much for your valuable insights. I strongly encourage everyone, especially the young people, to support the petition for the G20 campaign. It will be linked in the description below, and definitely make sure to share it with people so that we can raise awareness. So I would just like to thank Mr. Sharma again for his insights and him being here. We really appreciate it, and thank you for your thoughts. This was really valuable.
Thank you so much, Nikita. It was a pleasure talking to you.